Welcome to how to fit a shelf. Today we're going to be showing you how to fit a shelf, and we need to make sure that we measure the wall and find the center point of the wall. In this case we are placing in two shelves, so we've found the middle marks. We're going to use a spirit level and find the top mark and bring the second mark down onto the second shelf. So make two marks, one there and one there. We then find the size of the shelf, which was 800 millimeters. We measure 400 on one side from the center, and then we transfer the next mark 400 millimeters on the next, on the left hand side. A little bit cag-handed this time, but that measures 800 mil exactly. This means that when we put the brackets on, the width of the shelf is 800 millimeters. Where we place the brackets in a second is going to be absolutely perfect. You can transfer the marks with the spirit level, but I like to measure my lines always. I always double check everything, make sure my lines are perfect. You can use multiple different ways of measuring here. You don't have to use a spirit level. You can use a laser, which I do have, but on a small little job like this, it's not necessary to get a laser out. Also, it means that you're going to have to carry more tools around with you. So, yeah, we just try to keep it simple. So, what we're doing here is we're just double checking everything, making sure everything measures up, that it's completely straight. The last thing we want is to get this wrong. Then we're onto the brackets. We're going to find our marks where the brackets are on each corner. We're going to place the bracket, and then we're going to mark two marks for the holes. Sorry, I'm in the way at the moment. But you get the bracket, you get the gist, and when the bracket is made and placed into the corner, we make two little marks, one at the top, one at the bottom. And then take it the other side and do exactly the same. And these brackets from IKEA are very typical. I think almost everybody must have seen these brackets by now. Again, it's just two little marks. Once we've made these marks, it's time to get our drill out. These are plasterboard raw plugs. You make a hole into the wall and then you place these into the wall. As you can see, I'm just using a small 7mm drill on the marks that I made. Place these raw plugs or plugs and preferably to screw them in. You can use a driver, but sometimes they're a bit rough and they ruin the plasterboard behind. So as you can see, I'm just using a screwdriver to screw these into the holes. There are many different options for raw plugs into plasterboard, many different options, and this is one of my favourite. They always secure really, really well. The second one goes into place right now. Here's the third one. As you can see, they're nice and flush to the wall. I would highly recommend these raw plugs. They're not technically raw plugs, but I call them raw plugs. Next we're on to the screw. And we're going to place the screw into the hole, into the bracket. And as simple as this, we simply just screw it in with a screwdriver. Don't over tighten the top one, because obviously once that one is too tight you won't be able to move the bracket. So you just tighten the first one in slightly and then bring the second one in. We're all good to tighten that second one in first and go back up to the top one and make sure that that's tight. Now this is the first bracket in place. If you wanted to go the extra mile, what you could do is use some silicone at the back of it just to make sure that it doesn't come loose for whatever reason. Now we're just placing the shelf into the bracket on the right hand side and then bringing in the left hand side bracket, hooking that over the top of the corner of the shelf. Sorry about this angle, unfortunately the video wasn't moved, but it's still the same as this on the left hand bracket as it was on the right. As I said, you can use a driver not to damage the work. There's the shelf in place now. It's completely rigid and completely perfectly level. Thank you for watching and subscribe to Chris Paul Clips.